You are now watching the Holistic Entrepreneur Podcast after 2 months of hiatus. I'm Oliver Manolis.
Christopher Lim.
How's everybody doing?
Fantastic.
Yeah? It's been a long time?
It has been, but it's not without reason.
No.
Not without a good reason.
Lots has happened in just the last 2 months, man.
I think way too much has happened.
Mm-hmm.
We were too busy. Sorry, folks. Too
Wow.
busy to get online.
I remember Andrew McDonald, he was just like, what did I do? Did I break the show? He was the last one.
Was he the last one?
He was the last one who was on the show.
Wow. Yeah, that was that already summer?
Yeah, that was like
midsummer?
second week of August.
Oh, yeah.
And we have a ton
Jeez.
of stuff that's happening in our lives, I guess.
Yeah. Well, that show, the last one we did, was the last show before you went to Ireland.
Yeah, before I left.
Yeah. Because we were going to try to work it out, but then it just kind of fell apart.
Yeah.
For good reason.
We tried to... I wanted to do a show streaming from there. It would have been really cool.
Would have been.
It just never ended up happening, and just let it be. You
Yeah.
know? Like the internet connection, and it just wasn't working out.
No.
Would have had to plan it a little bit better.
Yeah.
Like maybe bring us a little bit of equipment somehow.
It's okay.
But whatever.
Whatever.
It's all good. But if
We'll figure it out one of these days.
Yeah. If you're new to the show, if you've never watched before, we talk about a lot of stuff here
We did.
on this show. Like
We do.
We've had many guests on the show, ranging from entrepreneurs to nutritionists to coaches to whatever.
Whatever.
And it's really just talking about life.
Yeah. Alternative, holistic lifestyles, thinking outside the box.
Mm-hmm. And based from the self.
Yes.
Like based on what is important to me, what do I want for my life?
Yeah.
And each one of them are just living based on whatever their definition of success and fulfillment is,
Yeah.
which is what's really cool and what we get to learn about and kind of get their perspective
Yeah.
on.
They're all holistic in their own way.
Mm-hmm. So it's not necessarily, the show's not necessarily about holistic entrepreneurs. We were talking about this.
Yeah, we talked about that yesterday.
That the whole entrepreneur aspect, I think, kind of, it narrows it a little bit too much, because that's not who I think this resonates with. I think it resonates to more than just the entrepreneur market. I guess in terms of an audience, because
Yeah.
it could be. We were talking about so many different things.
We do.
Really,
and we can.
right? Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I mean, we open it up. Doesn't necessarily have to be strictly entrepreneurs.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I just think it's the whole point of the show for me has been just getting a conversation going about all the different things that are happening that can help people evolve.
Yeah.
Help people, I guess, gain more confidence in themselves and in their journeys, in their visions, and
Yeah, I think it's more just stuff that interests us, that we discuss, and people are interested in, they want to hear about and be involved in the conversations that we have.
yeah.
And I think the entrepreneur part I think that's more like the people who forge their own path,
Yeah.
as opposed to doing the regular,
Mm-hmm.
what everybody else does.
Yeah.
That's what I
I
think
get
the
it
entrepreneurs-
represents the whole people who are going on the alternative route.
Yeah,
The path that's not most taken.
yeah.
The unbeaten path.
The
or
unbeaten path.
The trailblazers.
Yeah,
Really.
the people who
pioneers.
make their own business, but make their own lifestyle. So it's not necessarily just business. It's just, I think the way entrepreneur has evolved for us has been just people who are living life for themselves.
Well, that's how we got to know. That's how we sort of it expressed in our lives.
Yeah,
Choosing that alternative life is, getting into our own businesses.
yeah. But we've evolved from there as well.
Exactly,
Where
and
it's not-
the perspective is so different.
Yeah.
On it. And it's funny because Philip McKernan is one of my mentors, and he talks regularly about how being an entrepreneur is completely overrated. It's not necessarily like the be-all, end-all solution for everybody, right? And it shouldn't be put on this high pedestal of prestige because you have your own business. It doesn't make it any better. You can be in a job and be happy. You can be just working completely voluntarily, right? Doing so many different things. But if you're fulfilled and you're happy and you're successful on your own,
On your own
right.
Yeah, in your own right. Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, even I look at where I've evolved in the show too. My job is now my kids.
Mm-hmm.
So is that really? I mean, there's no income from it, but it's what I do.
But it's one of the most, like, and I say this all the time to people, and I think it's the most important job in the world.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which is, being a parent, because I mean, it's a life. Like, you're bringing life into this world. It's a huge
responsibility. It's our my responsibility.
Yeah.
As a parent, it's your responsibility
mm-hmm.
to make sure that you raise those kids properly.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
And that's one thing that I definitely respect about you, is because that it takes so much balls to actually take it on full, and just be like, no, this is the role. This is one of the most important roles on this freaking planet.
Yeah.
Is my children. And it's like, and nothing's going to stop me from making sure that they have the benefit of the perspective of the experiences, and you're passing it down in that way. So
and it's such a small window of opportunity you have to really influence your kids.
Mm-hmm.
Like the first 5 years, first 7 years, and then
Mm-hmm.
really after that they're their own person.
Mm-hmm.
Tristan's his own person.
That's what I've been learning as well. Like 6 to 7 years old, and then by that point they're already
their personalities are pretty much set.
They're set, and all the values that you've ingrained in them are in.
Yeah,
they're there.
Yeah, and then from 7 until they become adults, legally adults, where they're 18, and basically it's just our job is to feed them and clothe them and house them. So, for 7 years, that's important.
And then they grow into their own thing.
Yeah.
Right? And do stuff that you probably will never even dream of.
Yeah. That's
just like people like who are listening to this are doing things that, your own parents probably couldn't even dream of.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? Oh, that's the whole point. But we've been gone for a while.
Yeah.
So
why don't you tell a little bit about? We talked a little bit about Ireland.
Mm-hmm.
So what were sort of the big things you took from Ireland? How's your life expanded and changed and grown from that? Because you were there for how long were you there for? 12 days, something like that.
I was away for like 22 days.
Was it 22 days you were there? Oh yeah, because you were there.
And then I went to, So here's what happened.
Because you were only at Brave Soul for like 10 days or something, but you spent another week just like gallivanting around.
Exactly. That's what I call it.
Gallivanting.
Well, I think they should know the story about Philip McKernan and how that came together. Just, I don't know. I like referring to these. I mean, I try to remember the moments that I had an intention and it just came to fruition, because it's just like, never ever forget that you have that ability.
Yeah, that's one of the most powerful things that we can do. Manifest.
So I do this workshop called Base Camp. You've already heard the story. Some people may not have heard the story. 2010, it was called Base Camp with Philip McKernan. He's a coach, mentor, speaker out of Vancouver via Ireland. And he's probably one of the most no BS people that you will ever listen to or be coached by, because I don't know, his approach is completely different. I mean, he's like, I've seen him grow the last couple of years, so it's almost like he's a regular dude. You look at him eye to eye, and he's not on some crazy pedestal, and he's real he's just so authentic. So Base Camp really, that was like a 1.5-day workshop, and it really pushed me forward in getting back into music again, because I wasn't doing much until that point.
Yeah, that's right.
And it made me realize how much love I have for it. And since then, I formed a band, and I'm going to start recording my EP. It just keeps getting delayed because I start and stop so many projects, right?
Recently as well.
But
lately you've stopped.
Yeah, because traveling was more important. But I mean, I got so much value from it. And then I started seeing some friends that you've seen that have been on the show, right? Like Ian Zabo. He's been mentored by Philip McKernan's one of his programs, and he's just released his second book. He was on the show, and the amount of weight that he's lost, and the amount of fulfillment that he has in his life now with Flip School, helping people learn how to flip property like the right way, the ethical way, the most profitable way.
Yeah.
And then seeing someone like Xander Robertson, who I'm trying to get on the show. We wanted to have him when I got back, but it was just way too.
Yeah.
It was a crazy period.
We were just trying to rush that show.
Yeah, I didn't want to rush anything. I want to have quality like presence.
Yeah.
So, anyways, I started seeing the results of him. He's moving to Jamaica, and
that's awesome.
There's all this change, and I want to have him on the show to talk about it. But I see all these examples of people and the growth, and just you see it, right? And I'm just like, okay, like there's been a lot of change in my life this year, and it was about July, and I was just thinking to myself, hey,
what's up, boys?
We're recording,
Hey,
guys.
we're recording a show. Can you guys go play again?
You guys go play?
We're gonna, Daddy. We wanna play with Dash.
With what?
We wanna play with Dash.
With Josh.
Later.
Uncle
Later.
Josh?
No.
Or Josh across the street?
Across the street. Later. Okay.
But he's.
Okay, we'll have you
Can
on
you guys?
next time, okay,
we'll have
bud?
you guys on next time. You guys go play Wii.
I don't wanna play with Josh. 'Cause
Okay, you wait till we're
Okay.
done, okay?
Wait till we're done. You guys can play with him when we're done. Okay.
Yeah, go say bye.
Bye.
Close the door, bud.
Later, please. Later.
Nice.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, so July, I start thinking about, oh my god, there's so much change in my life, and I want more clarity, and I have to see this man. Like, I have to talk to Philip McKernan. I'm either going to go to BC, I'm going to go visit him. I don't care what's happening, but I got to see this guy. And not even days, like just a few days later, I get an email. Brave Soul, an Irish adventure. And I didn't even read the email. I just saw that there was something in August in Ireland with Philip McKernan. I'm going.
Done.
I immediately replied, yes, I'm in. And then I didn't know how I was going to put it together. And it was coming very quickly because it was only like a few weeks away.
Yeah.
I'm like, didn't book, the flight and all this stuff. And so it was just, the way it came together is just like I just thought about it and I really wanted it and something happened and I'm just like that's how I decided to go to Ireland.
Yeah.
There was no plan to really
Yeah. It was just like
and it just fit.
complete.
And then it was just fucking amazing.
Nice.
You know the whole Ireland experience, like the place is freaking magical. Like the places that we got to see, the walks, the scene, the energy, the people, the pubs, the drinks, the food, like definitely going back there.
Nice. Yeah.
But that entire week was extremely powerful too.
I would have thought like the workshop, the people, the travel, the solitude, the independence. Because it wasn't just that. I mean, you did a whole other like week by yourself.
Yeah, a lot.
No plans.
Yeah, 7 days. There was 7 of the 22 days was planned. With that week. Everything else, I just went all over the place.
Because you went like another week and a bit by yourself, no plans.
Yeah, and so
just in Europe by yourself, no plans.
Never traveled by myself.
That's awesome.
Never felt worthy enough to give it to myself until now.
Yeah.
And I don't know why I've been waiting for so long to do it, but I finally did it. Like just go on a trip on my own. It's kind of obscure to do it. Like you don't hear about too many people just going away on their own.
I think that's really more like an Australian European thing. You don't really hear a lot of that out of North America. Like you'll hear people, I'm going to another state. I'm going to California. I'm going to LA, or I'm going to New York.
But
it's not like
gallivanting
they're
around.
not. No, it's not. I mean, I don't hear it a lot. Not a lot of friends that I knew would just be like, "Oh, I'm going to Europe for 2 weeks. No plans. I'm just going."
Yeah, just gonna go. Go to go.
Go to go.
Yeah.
But you don't know anybody. No set place. It's just I'm going. I'll find a fucking place to sleep. When I'm hungry, I'll eat. Where my feet go, that's where I'm going to go.
Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
I look down and my feet are there.
That's a great experience.
It was
a
private. It was almost. It's like a private journey. You know what I mean? Like it's your own journey.
Yeah.
And that's really what it was for me. It was just. It didn't matter where I was. It was just like I don't know. You read about like how maybe like 100, 150 years ago, travel was like that was your university. That's where you learned. You're traveling to another country to learn a language, to learn a culture, to experience what it's like to be on your own, to find yourself. we need to do that.
Yeah.
And I met a guy. Oh my god, I met a guy. He's from Germany. I forgot what town he's from again, but his name was Peter. So I get to this hostel in this small town in Ireland, and we're talking about traveling and going away, right? But in the back of the room, there's like a common room where people eat and like read and stuff like that. In the back, you see this guy with this hat, like covering his face, and just like the Undertaker almost, right?
Yeah.
He's dressed. He has like a white dress shirt underneath, like a leather vest, leather tie, and some like
Leather tie.
yeah, and like these crazy corduroy bell-bottom pants. I'm just like, whoa, this guy Amish or something? I'm like, what? Like, what? This guy's
What's his deal?
yeah. I thought he should be holding a pitchfork or something, right? But I got to talk to him. He's really cool. But what I found out is, number one, he's a carpenter. Number two, he's a traveling carpenter.
Yeah, you're telling me. That's cool.
So part of the tradition as a carpenter where he's from is that part of your tradition is to leave your hometown with no money.
Yeah, that's like the apprenticeship.
Yeah, that's part of the apprenticeship. And then for 3 years and 1 day.
You have to leave your town.
You cannot come back to your hometown for 3 years and 1 day. You leave with no money, and you come back with no money.
That's amazing.
And I was blown away by that because I was just contemplating on how much importance they put into traveling, into, you know, just go off on your own with no resources, with nothing, and just figure it out.
Yeah.
Right? And just be in the moment. He walks the majority of his trip.
Really?
He sleeps outside for the majority of his trip.
Wow.
He has a hammock. He sleeps outside.
That's awesome.
He has 8 kilos with him, and that's it.
That's it. 3
That's
years,
it.
8 kilos. His tools.
Yeah.
And some clothes.
His tools so he can work. That guy's been to Africa.
Wow.
He was in the west end of Ireland, and he said he was going to go to Amsterdam.
That's amazing.
Yeah, he wants to go to Amsterdam. He wants to find work in the Netherlands. Or
Cool.
something like that, right? But I'm just like, how are you going to get there, man? You know? You're going to walk there. Like Ireland's an island. So he has to fly. He has to do something, right?
Catch a boat.
But I don't know. I talked to him and I said, so how long have you been away for? He's like, more than 3 years and 1 day. And I'm just like, okay. I'm like, you can go home now. He's like, the world is too big.
That's awesome.
So he just chooses not to go back home because imagine the way you're dressed, the tradition, where you come from. Probably didn't even know English when maybe he knew English when he left his hometown. But realizing, holy crap, I'm so different from everybody else. Like the way I'm dressed, people are interested in what I'm wearing, and people are interested in like where I come from, and he probably just the contrast and the learning experience from that must have been huge.
Wow, incredible.
And now he's been all over the place. I envy him in that way.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, how amazing is that?
Yeah.
He's just like, we drove by him. He was walking. He just had his thing. He has 8 kilos, and he's just walking. No music, no cell phone, nothing. He didn't have anything like form of entertainment. He was just in here the whole time, the whole trip.
Imagine that. No cell phone, no music, nothing. And he's probably in bliss.
I don't know if he's in bliss.
Just like, well, I mean,
but I think he's probably one of the most calmest, self-centered people. He probably knows himself really well.
Yeah.
And yeah, he's living on purpose, man.
That's cool.
How amazing is that?
That's very cool. To be able to experience something like that.
He was one of the coolest people there's a lot of people that I met, and it's
sure.
one of those things like when I came back, it was really weird because I was just like, you can't put into words what it feels like what happens,
because it's an experience, right? That's the thing about travel. You can't put it into words. Travel is an experience. You do it to experience it.
And as much as you can write down the stories and or share the stories, and like that's just a little shadow image of what occurred. You know what I mean? Like your one perspective of what happened.
Yeah. It's a fraction.
You know, and what you can remember even too, and like put on paper.
It's a fraction of the real.
Because you're so in the moment because you have nothing. Like I had no plans. I didn't know where I was going next, and it was just by like talking to people. Where are you going? Where'd you come from? Why are you traveling? Or you know, like what's your hometown? Like we just talking to anybody and just being interested and being curious the whole time, and then letting that direct you. Where it's just like, oh, you really think I should go to Italy instead of Spain? I was gonna go to Spain after Ireland, and these French girls that I met, they're just like, it's like, trust me, go to Rome. Go to Italy, you're gonna love it.
That's cool.
And I was like, and that, like, literally,
there you go. Changed plans.
Led me, completely. And I'm glad that I did it. You know, she sent me to this great hostel, awesome place, close to a lot of things.
Amazing, amazing. So you really grew a lot from there.
Yeah, and it's just starting to show even more to myself. You know. I start to notice it.
Because I've even noticed since you've come home, there were a lot of changes as well. Personal changes, lifestyle changes, business changes. A lot of things are... you're adjusting a lot of them to sort of fit new plans for your lifestyle. On how you want to live your lifestyle. Because sort of the things that you've been discussing lately are more travel.
Yeah.
So you want to adjust your lifestyle now to fit that future plans.
Yeah, travel more, because all I knew is that I needed to travel and I needed to go. Like where it was didn't matter, and I just had to go. So like, as soon as I could catch up and make a little bit of money, Ireland fell into my lap.
Yeah,
and then like we were already planned to go to Trinidad and Tobago, and that whole like 2 months like. I was pretty much just off.
Yeah. Right?
And I knew that I had to do that before I even come and make any sort of decisions or commitments about life. About like...
Get this.
Where am I? What am I doing? What am I going to do?
Get these experiences out of the way.
Yeah. Because I knew I'd come back with clarity.
Yeah.
And I did. And I landed and I was just like, bing! Yeah. And it's... I wish I knew the quote word for word. But it's like... it has something to do with traveling, but it's like when you come back to your home and it's like a new place. I'll look it up next time.
Yeah,
but it's like cool. when you come back home and it's like a new place. It's like that is when you like your perspective will completely change. I completely butchered that. Yeah. It sounds so much more eloquent from the dude.
Yeah,
but yeah.
Well, I think that's the beautiful thing that travel does give you. It gives you clarity. It gives you a brand new perspective on coming home. Because I know. When I went to school in the States, and then when Michelle and I left and we lived on the East Coast for a while, and we lived on the West Coast for a while, we always sort of came back home for a little stint, or we would come back home, you know, just to visit. And yeah, it's so clear how life changes, and it'll go on without you.
You see things just differently too.
You got to live your own life. Live your own life, and it's good to be able to get away and then come back. Because it helps you get out of that mundane day-to-day, just doing what everybody else is doing. So it's good to travel and get away and experience and grow.
You just made me think of the whole river analogy, where it's like you'll never step into the same river twice. Yeah. Right? Because it's always going to be different. It's
always changing. Yeah.
And it's almost like flowing. That's what people are. People are like a river. We're always flowing. We're always changing. We're all waves in the same ocean. And you can leave, but you could come back, and it's not the same ocean.
Yeah,
it could be still Brampton. You come back to Brampton, it's not the same Brampton.
Right.
You know, things have changed.
Yeah.
Like you might not see it, you might feel it, you might hear it, but
yeah,
it's just really cool to kind of imagine it that way, to like as a metaphor.
Yeah, absolutely. So, but it's also kind of to think of the reverse or the opposite is, you know, those people who are sort of stuck in their ways, and we're talking about the whole entrepreneur and what it means to us, but people who are just stuck in their ways, they never want to leave, they grow up here, they go to school here, they get a job here, they live their entire life here, they don't want to travel. It's just like, well,
they don't know anything else.
Yeah, what's the point of life if that's all you're gonna do?
To only see one
the world is so big, like that guy said, the world is so big.
It's like the world is so big.
And if you're just going to spend
and
your life, 10 kilometer radius,
you know yourself so much. Like, I don't know, it's almost like you're looking through one lens, and everyone else is looking through a different lens. And only when you can step out of it and kind of like be curious and open and be open to it with other people from like around the world, well, you get like a clearer view on so many different things, not just your home, but like just like philosophically values and what's important. It's different all over the place, and you might like leave a country or leave a small town and walk away with something completely new, like making sure that you have a siesta every afternoon, because you're just like, oh my god, the Spaniards got it right. I should sleep like every day. I should in the middle of the day, or whatever.
Allow yourself that.
Whatever you walk away with, man, you might adopt some new habit. You might adopt some new value. But I think imagine if you didn't go, right? So you would just be the same person.
Yeah, you would never even be. I mean, you would never even be open to that.
Mm-hmm.
If you wouldn't even know those things existed.
I saw the saying "armchair traveler."
Yeah,
I'm just like, oh man, that's funny. Like on these magazines, it's whether you're like whatever, if you're a traveler or an armchair traveler, this magazine or book is gonna be perfect for you. And it's just like,
you surf? Yeah, I surf. I surf the internet.
I surf the internet. Like I see the great photos on Flickr.
Yeah,
but I've never seen them face to face.
That's no way to do it.
Mm-hmm.
So Ireland, awesome trip.
Ireland was wicked.
And
biggest thing I loved about that place is the people.
Yeah,
they're the coolest people, man.
Yeah,
you go to a pub and you're gonna make friends like so easily.
That's awesome.
So easily.
The Irish,
and it helps you speak English. You're in an English-speaking country.
It helps when everybody speaks.
For sure.
Yeah.
Rome was a little different. I loved it for food and coffee and wine and.
A little more stubborn in terms of speaking English, though.
A little stubborn on the English, and I think a little
jaded.
A little jaded from the tourism is the way I would explain it. Nothing bad against them. I get it, right? It's ridiculous, man.
Yeah.
The Vatican, and it's stunning, the architecture, but I'm really interested in seeing the small towns of Italy.
Yeah.
Like
that's where you're going to really experience. Because if you go to Italy and all you experience is Rome, that's not a good representation of Italy.
No, Rome is like his own thing that's happening. Yeah.
Yeah. That's like going to, it's like in the U.S., you go to Disneyland and think, oh, that's the U.S. Mm-hmm. Well, no, that's Disneyland. It's an attraction. It's a theme park.
Yeah.
It's, it's tourist. That's not what
very
you're
tourist. Yeah. Totally. Still a great experience nonetheless.
Oh, sure.
I went to most of the sites like twice.
Nice.
Like just because I just met new people and we would just go to the same places, or I ended up taking people.
Yeah. Like the Colosseum.
To the Colosseum. Yeah, it was fun. It was really fun there, but I don't know. It was just really cool to see the way they actually live there, and the way the culture is just so different than what you would expect.
Really?
Yeah, because I imagined. I don't know. I didn't picture it like so urban.
Oh, interesting. Yeah.
Because you think of Rome, you're just like, oh, ancient Rome, and you go there, and it is a freaking city. Like it is, like there's so many people there. There's like a huge concentration of people. There's a subway system, and like I guess cool. It's a city, but. Yeah. I think the only thing I think about is like Colosseum, and I just think about old ruins and things. But I go there, I'm just like, damn, this is a city. Like this is just a city, Everywhere you go, the people and the food and the way things look are still like architecturally. I think they're old, but it's very much like a metropolis.
That's cool.
Because even though there's a lot of Italians, you can tell that there's people from all over the world there that like live there as well, and then there's travelers. So that's why it's almost just like it's a big soup of people, like a big.
That's cool.
Kind of thing, right?
And you can only really get that in Europe, right? Like that old ancient ruins
mixed right in
mm-hmm. with skyscrapers.
Yeah, brand new buildings.
That's crazy.
Yeah, like modernized or just renovated. And
that's got to be a trip. Because here in the U.S., like here in Canada, in the U.S., you see old buildings. You're like, well, that's an old building, but that's only 100 years old. Yeah. It's not
like 1,000 or 600 or whatever. Like And that's where it's really impressive, because you're just looking at it and the bridges and the walks and all the different piazzas, and you're like, oh man, this is I don't know. It's just cool to be there. It's so vivid, you know.
Yeah.
Like some of them, you see them in movies, you see them in pictures, and when you're there, like literally the first day, I tried to find Vatican City. So the hostel was like 3 minutes from there. Like you just walk and boom, you're at Vatican City.
So it's that close.
Yeah, it was really close. And it's a walled city. So I'm just like, okay, where does this wall open up? Like, so I'm like walking in a circle, you know. But I ended up finding like where the opening is. So I started walking. And I was like, damn, this is big. This is really big. But all I could see is just like this little bit. As soon as I go, like sound kind of just muffles because of the wall.
Because of the wall, yeah.
Then as you start getting closer to the inside of St. Peter's Square, you start hearing the fountains.
Cool.
And I start walking. And everything just expands. And expands. And expands. And I'm just like, this is unbelievable. I get a whole rush in my entire body.
Cool.
Like vibrationally. Like just goosebumps. And you hear the fountains. And you just... I can imagine like people going nuts. Like millions of people just in St. Peter's Square.
Yeah.
Like how you see it on the news and stuff. Like waiting for like a papal address or whatever.
Yeah.
There's just so many people. Like I just imagine like, oh my God. And how long has this been here for and all that. It's very
Intense.
impressive.
That's cool.
Very impressive, man. So that was cool. That was one of my first stops, and every single place was like that. You're just like, this is crazy.
Yeah.
It's like, how did they do that? Like the obelisks. Like, how did they do that? How did
Yeah.
they get that up there?
Crazy.
Really cool.
That's cool. That's good.
And then came back for like a couple of weeks.
Yeah. So you came. Yeah. So you came back. I remember when we came back. You were just sort of like, I'm still on vacation mode, chill mode,
Totally.
chill mode, chill
Totally.
mode, because we had our next trip,
Coming.
the one that we all did together,
Mm-hmm.
and we went to Trinidad and Tobago,
Mm-hmm.
which was a wicked trip. I didn't experience Europe, so I can't say. I mean, I
Yeah.
know it was a wicked trip for you.
Oh, Europe is its own little freaking category.
Yeah.
And Trinidad and Tobago is its own
Different trip.
category.
That's a
That
different
was,
trip.
That was completely different. It was awesome.
So we went to Trinidad and Tobago. My sister-in-law got married. Now I've got a new brother-in-law, and we had I don't know how many
of
people.
Us. So
There was
many.
like what 60 people from the GTA
Yeah, 60 to 70 people from the GTA area
that went.
and we were there for like, you know, anywhere from like 10 days to 14 days.
Yeah. No, we were there for Sunday to Sunday. Well, you got there earlier.
I was there for 12 days.
You were there for 12 days. We were there for 9 days.
Yeah.
Sunday to Sunday.
And it was I fell in love with Soka, man.
Yeah. How can you not?
I know that people there are amazing. But you've been there too. We've already
That was
been
my
there.
second time there. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was the experience was a much different experience than the first time I went.
How come?
Because the first time I went, it was just Michelle, myself, and then Mark and Audrey.
Yeah. Oh.
So it was more intimate, a lot more toned down, a lot more quiet.
Not like
It
crazy.
wasn't crazy. So, but these are one of those kind of like once, twice in a lifetime things where you get to go on vacation with your friends and your family.
Mm-hmm.
And that the cool thing
Very
was
once in a lifetime.
yeah, I mean, how often does that really happen? For some people, never. I mean, for us, we're going to do it again in March.
Yeah.
For John's
Another-
wedding, which is
another
going to be
wedding.
awesome. But yeah, different. I mean, it was an amazing experience to be able to be on an island in Tobago in the sun at midnight, 1 o'clock, and you're in the water with your friends and family.
Yeah.
And you're drinking.
Yeah.
And you're having fun and just talking, playing. I mean, that was.
I'm just starting to
Very cool.
reminisce now, and it's like, oh my god, it was such a good time.
It was a really good time. And the thing I
And
missed
we all
is
got so dark.
so dark. I
coming
know.
back.
I'm already
I don't
fading.
know if they can tell. If we can tell from the screen, but
Probably not. I look white.
it's
My tan is already gone.
already
It's
faded.
already peeled.
Yeah, so Tobago, we got to go on some crazy boat tour,
Boat tour,
snorkeling,
beach,
scuba diving for the first time. So, how did you feel the first time you went scuba diving?
I wanted more.
I know I was
was
kinda
ready to go
pissed.
more.
I
Well,
wanted to go way-
the advanced group got to go twice. We only got to go once each.
Mhm.
I was ready for more.
Mhm.
I want to go out again.
For me, some of the most compelling parts of it was just doing barrel rolls and like just spinning, and you could see like all around you, and you're like, oh my god, it just depth in every direction.
Yeah.
Like usually your feet are on the ground, or like you can touch the top of the water, or like you can touch the bottom of the pool, or whatever it is. There's always something, right, that you can reach for.
Yeah.
Here, you're not reaching for nothing.
There's
like
it's emptiness.
Yeah, you're just floating. You're
It's
like
just
in space.
expansive space, and it's just
And then all you can hear is
yeah. There's
yeah. Luke, I am your father. That
the
is
thing-
that's amazing.
it's
I think
amazing. And could you imagine? Because we only got to 10 meters, so like 30 feet. John's group,
I thought I went 40 feet.
you might have gotten a little bit further. With 40 feet, so maybe like 12 meters.
I think my dive book says it.
Yeah. So, but could you imagine the advanced group? They went down like 70, 80 feet.
But it seems like it's not that much of a difference.
No, I don't think it would.
Like
be.
as I'm going down, I'm just like, I can go deeper.
Yeah, I felt that
Because
too.
she told me she got my attention. She's like, no, come back. She's like, look, we're like 13 and a half meters.
Oh yeah, so you
below.
went a little bit further than
And she's like,
deeper than we did.
she's like, you can't go not on your first dive.
Yeah.
And I was just like, are you kidding me? Like, it's right there.
I know, it's right
I'm
there.
like, we could just keep going. Like, but you can see it gets darker.
Yeah.
It's
And it gets
crazy.
colder too. Like you
kinda
feel
crazy.
instantly.
Mm-hmm.
You feel colder. You feel it gets darker.
Yeah.
But there's a lot more shit down there too.
I have video of the boat ride, like before
Oh,
we went
when
diving.
we were going
where
out?
he's just gunning it. He's gunning it. And it's like
That's awesome.
And we're just like, whoa, it's
That's
gonna
cool.
happen. We're gonna do this.
Yeah, it's a
Yes.
completely different. I mean, we talked about that with scuba diving. You know, if you're going to the Caribbean or you're going to a place that has diving, if you're not diving, you're cutting yourself off from half the vacation. Because it is a different world. It's a different world.
And that's why it's amazing how some people, there are divers out there who don't even know like what's happening in the town or city because their whole trip is just diving.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think it's important to
That's
get a little
hilarious.
bit of both.
You need both,
Yeah.
you know. But
You gotta
I've
experience-
heard of this.
Yeah.
Like, people are just like straight diving.
Yeah.
Just, that's all they do.
You go there, they're diving.
It's nuts.
Their hotel is right beside the dive center.
And it's like
it's
straight
just like,
dives every day.
yeah, back and you sleep, and then wake up and you're back on the boat diving.
Oh my god! But I can see how addicting it can get, especially when you start seeing like some amazing like colors on fish.
Yeah,
and
the
just
different
shapes
fish
and like the coral. It's just wow.
It was so cool. I got to see the turtle poop.
Yo,
That was
how
cool.
big was the turtle?
Well, it's so hard to tell, right? Because you're
It was
underwater.
far?
But from my perspective, the turtle would have been like this.
Oh my
It would have been
god!
like that. And the poop was like a golf ball.
Oh man! My cousin
It was
he took a
cool.
picture beside a turtle on the beach in Hawaii,
Oh yeah,
like
sweet.
while we were away, and it was huge.
Yeah,
it was
your
like that.
cousin-
It was like that
cousin was
size.
there.
Yeah, it was big.
So yeah, that Trinidad and Tobago was an amazing trip. We got really spoiled, and we were really well taken care of. The thing, you know what I miss?
Congratulations, Mark and Audrey,
Yes, my brother-in-law, new brother-in-law, and sister-in-law.
man. Mm-hmm.
The thing I miss is, dude. The thing I miss is waking up and you walk outside, and you wake up in the air conditioning, and it's nice and cool. And you're
Yeah.
like, oh man, I'm so hungry.
And outside is so hot.
And then you walk outside and it's blazing hot.
And you start sweating.
You start sweating, and then I just miss walking down, and you go to the eating area, and then they had just a layout of food ready for you to eat.
Mm-hmm.
I miss that. Just like,
You're
oh,
just-
what do you want for
You're
breakfast?
just being
Eggs?
completely
Here's
served.
eggs. Oh, you guys want bake? Okay, here, have some bake. Oh, saltfish? Here, have some saltfish.
Everything you want, everything you need.
When you guys are done, just sign.
Yeah, you just sign
Done.
and you're good.
See you guys later. Have a nice day. I miss that.
Oh man.
Yeah, so I really enjoyed this experience. I definitely love to be able to go back. We should try to do a Carnival, maybe 2014.
2014.
Because this year, next February.
That's not gonna happen.
Because
Not
we've got
for-
John's wedding.
Not for me. No.
Yeah, because we got John's wedding a month after, so we're gonna have to get ready for that, which is gonna be good. Because a lot of the same people are still gonna be coming to that wedding as well.
That's actually really cool because it's gonna be this like a similar group of people.
Similar
and
group
we've
of
all
people.
partied together and
Yeah. I think it'll be a little bit of a different experience too.
a lot of
because
change in 2012, man.
a lot of travel.
It's too bad it's the end of the world.
No, didn't you hear that they found more scrolls on the Dead Sea Scrolls, or they found another.
Of course they
They
did.
found another layer to the Mayan calendar.
Of course they did.
In 2012, of course. So now I think it goes to like 2040 or something.
Convenient. All those doomsday people, they can write some more books now.
Yeah, of course.
Because
It's a business.
Yeah, it worked out for them.
I know. We should have wrote a book.
Damn, about the end of the world.
We should just write our own scrolls.
That's the only reason I changed so much this year is because no.
Why stay the same? World's
Yeah.
gonna end anyway.
No.
Oh, too much.
Oh man.
So we've got. There's still more travel, and we're going to Vermont,
We're going to Vermont for snowboarding.
snowboarding in January.
Yeah.
There's a lot of
So people need to look that up. FXB events.
FXB events. You can
on
look it up on
Facebook.
Facebook. Yeah,
For that event, you can check that out.
if you guys want to come snowboarding or skiing,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of travel. That's awesome. End of 2011 or 2012 into 2013.
Yeah.
It's good.
Big year this year, man.
Big year.
So much.
And a lot of it happened like right after the first half of this year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the first half felt a little slower.
First
in terms
half
of change and decisions, I guess.
Well, I think
And things happen.
when I look at like your life, I look at the first half. You really hit the pavement hard, literally,
Mm-hmm.
getting your business going.
Yeah.
And then the second half, you enjoyed it.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. Yeah.
So you
That's
worked
so
hard
funny.
for when did you get started? Like February,
We don't need to go into that.
March, something like
no,
that.
like May.
No,
April,
May, June, July, August. Yeah, okay. No,
like 4 months.
6 months,
4 or 5 months.
and then you enjoyed it.
And then I enjoyed it for 2 months.
But that was a big
Well,
awakening, a
I
big
knew-
perspective
I-
for you. That
I knew I wasn't gonna just go straight. You know what I mean?
Like one
For
year.
for like a whole year,
No.
or and do like a 1 week vacation or something like that. No, I knew
because
that
you had that plan, like you
I
wanted to get
go
away
away for at least 6 weeks,
Yeah.
or just have this 6 weeks at
because
least.
that was also an intention from like years ago too, from when we had our masterminds. I remember when we first had our first mastermind, that was always an intention for you to get away for 6 weeks, 2 months, like to get away.
Mm-hmm.
So that was something that was already not in the works, but it was already an intention that
Yeah.
you had.
It became the most important thing to do,
Yeah,
right? Like, as much as I love music and real estate and all this stuff, I knew that everything else I couldn't care less about it until
Yeah.
I traveled.
until you travel, you can drop everything else and go travel.
Yeah.
Experience.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Because like I'm waiting too long.
Yeah,
We don't have that much time on this freaking planet.
yeah.
So
So
I'm
it's
gonna
good.
I'm gonna live life that way. I
Yeah.
will live it that way.
So that's good. So that your sort of new perspective was work, play, play, work for a couple months, then you want to go play for a couple months.
Mm-hmm. Well, for now, that's what works for now.
That's what's working for
That's
now.
it.
And that's how
That's
it's
all it
so,
is, yeah.
So that was sort of the clarity that you came back with after
Mhm.
after the couple of trips is, I want to get away some more. I want to have more extended vacations.
Long term, yeah.
Mini retirements.
A lot of it is, if you guys want to know, is very much inspired from Rolf Potts' book, Vagabonding.
Vagabonding.
It's like, I think the subtext is an uncommon guide to the art of long-term travel. And I think if you look up the word vagabond, it means like a broke gypsy, you know? But I think what Rolf Potts kind of paints a picture of just like, it's just really just minimalist, lightweight, not about possessions and objects in your experiences, but more about the actual the people that you meet, the things that you learn, the experiences, what
The
you learn
actual
about yourself, and doing that, and it's just like moving through the world intentionally,
Yeah.
not just like let's go to Cuba and get wasted for 4 days and come back.
Yeah.
It's like I want to go experience a new world, like a different country, a different culture, different truths, different values, different principles, different language, different food, different whatever.
Yeah.
And hopefully in that way I could learn more about myself as I learn more about the world. And that's like really I've read it over and over and over again.
Yeah.
And I reference it too, right? But good book. I recommend it.
Yeah. But it definitely gives you a different perspective on travel.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like you said going away. I'm going to Cuba to get wasted for 4 days, and
Which
you
is
don't even-
which is cool.
Yeah.
Which is fine.
yeah.
But
But
that's not traveling.
That's not traveling.
Mm.
That's just going to get wasted somewhere where it's hot.
Yeah. That's a getaway. That's like getting away.
Yeah.
Really. traveling is like just it's an art in itself. You know?
Nice. Yeah, great way to put
exploring. You're exploring. You're learning. About yourself.
it. Absolutely.
It's work sometimes.
Yeah,
and,
I'm
and
sure.
it's just like, just little things. Like I was looking for a nail cutter for an entire day, or just little minor things like looking for, like doing little errands just for things that you need.
Yeah, when you're traveling minimalistic, then you're gone for 2 weeks. There's going to be something that's going to pop up that you're going to need.
Yeah, something's gonna pop up, and you're just like, or something might happen, and you're just like, oh.
You got to take care of that.
You got to take care of it, and like that can consume a whole afternoon, a whole morning, or whatever it is.
Yeah.
But I learned to take it as that's part of
it.
what's happening, and I'm like just be here right now with it. Put on your headphones, or just like make a day of it.
Yeah.
Grab a beer, just chill or take a break.
Yeah.
Just let it happen as it does. So. I don't know. I think that's in that way you can really learn about yourself, how you handle those types of
See, that's cool
situations.
That's cool.
And then as well the network of friends that you get from all over the place.
Yeah,
right.
You met people from all over the world.
Australia, Germany, Netherlands, Spain, Brazil, America, Canada, UK, like London, UK. Turkey. There's people traveling from all over the world that I bumped into.
That's cool.
Like it's huge.
Yeah.
Right? And some of them you have really good conversations with, and you go and do things with them, like grab something to eat or see some sight, or just like simply just going for a walk and just chatting or coffee or whatever it is. You make new friends, keep in touch, you get them on Facebook, and
That's the beautiful thing about Facebook.
Yeah, and you can
keep in touch.
Yeah, and you get great I don't know. I think great friendships can happen like spontaneously at any moment, and you don't have to be anywhere in the world. I think you could be wherever you are right now, and that's what I learned is like traveling. And I put it on my Facebook. It's like traveling is not about going away; it's about being here now, wherever I am. And it's like you take that home with you, that curiosity, that like like the other day, me and your brother went for a walk downtown Brampton. Cool. And I was like, oh man, I didn't know there was this Indian restaurant here. And I'm like, it looks like maybe we should try it. And I was like, oh, I never noticed this before. And just being very curious. You don't realize how much. And then in Ireland, there were so many great hikes. And I'm just like, oh, I need to move to out west for great hiking and mountains and nature. And then you just look deeper and you ask the right questions and you look for it. And you find out that they're all over the place here.
Yeah.
There's trails, there's hiking, there's mountain, there's beautiful, beautiful nature, just right around
you,
right around the corner, like a half an hour, 45-minute drive or less.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's right in your backyard.
Yeah, there's a lot that Ontario has to offer. A lot. You can get country and you can get city.
Yeah.
All within half an hour. Especially like from here, we're just on the outskirts of the city.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Fuck, I've been talking so much, man. You tell me about how life has changed for you.
How life has changed for me.
You started a new blog. You started...
Yeah, I started that new blog. So it's just sort of the play.
Where are we at here?
With that, it's just sort of just like little memoirs that I'm put together, something for the boys that to read up on when they get older and to know why.
Document it.
Yeah. Why I do what I do and the philosophy behind it and just teachings and stuff like that. So they can see, okay, how did my dad decide to do this homeschool?
When did that happen? So when did it happen that you're just like we should homeschool? This is a better idea. This will be better for the kids. How'd that happen?
When did that happen? Tristan was in a Montessori school, and it was just so expensive, and we just figured the stuff that he's learning there, we're spending $500-600 a month for him to do stuff that can be taught at home. And he would come home sometimes and say that he wasn't getting the attention. Nobody's helping me, because he could already read by that point. So when it came to some reading activities, he's getting bored, right? It's like, well, I'm learning how to read, but I already know how to read. So what am I doing here? And we're spending $500 for a month for a babysitter when both Michelle and I are at home. So it's like, okay, why would we do that? So brought him home, and the stuff that we've done to explore homeschooling or unschooling or life schooling It's just kids have a natural curiosity. There's no reason for us to go and try to force feed stuff to them. If they are interested in it, they're going to learn it.
They're going to want to learn it too.
They're going to
go for it.
Yeah. So I one of the examples that I like to use is, Brooklyn, he's at that age where he wants to start, he's learning how to read, and he's getting to that point where in video games, if he wants to learn the video game more, he wants to get a better understanding or more in-depth play, he's going to have to learn how to read. He's going to have to learn to read the things that are on the screen. So now there is a purpose for him to read. It's now... Well, it's not just letters on the screen. Like, I want to know what those things are.
He wants to learn how to read, but he wants to use that tool of reading.
So it's applicable right away.
That's so funny.
So, I mean, that's just sort of one thing. It's not obviously all about video games. We do limit the amount of video games. It's not a free-for-all. But that's the example I like to use. So if there's something that interests them, you can cater the schooling towards
they might want
whatever that is.
You might not even know in what shape or form they're actually gonna, want it themselves, without having to force them to learn how to do anything or learn anything.
They're gonna learn it when it comes time to learn it. That's just the way it is, especially as they get older. And I mean, as they get older and their other friends are talking about other things, they're probably gonna want to.
You're gonna be curious.
Yeah, they're gonna be curious.
What's this?
And they're gonna want to talk about those things with their friends, and they're gonna be like, oh, what's
how do they do it now? Do they look it up online? Like, do they do something?
Yeah, we'll go to the library and they'll just look it up online. They'll Google it and they'll just learn on their own.
That's so amazing.
Yeah, because they're learning how to type, and we do a lot of stuff off Khan Academy as well. So the online learning. So a lot of the math that they do is read off of Khan. It's amazing. There's so many resources now, and there's so many reasons to homeschool and to pull your kids out of school.
What about the big argument about sociability?
Yeah.
What's been your observation around kids who are in the school system, kids who are not in the school system?
It's how, as parents, you're going to raise your kid, because you see when we were in Trinidad and Tobago, and you see sort of Tristan's other cousins, and you look at them, and they are a lot more shy than Tristan and Brooklyn. And you're talking about social ability. Who's more social? My kids. I mean, I look at
you're
some of the cousins, and
you're
just like, okay, is there really an argument? Do you even have an argument for that anymore when you really compare the kids and how social they are with not just other kids but other adults?
Yeah,
which is more applicable
to adults.
Yeah, which is more applicable to real life. It's not, when you get into the real world, you're not just talking to people who are your own age. You're going to be talking to people who are older, younger, different races, different sexes. I mean, everything, right? And they do that now. When you're in school for 8 hours a day,
5 and 7 years old.
Yeah, you're in school all day. All you're talking to is one teacher who's an authority figure, and then everybody else is your
same
age.
Yeah.
That's not social. That's not socializing. There's nothing social.
They're social with everybody, so it doesn't yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I looked at their cousins, and their cousins are so shy. They didn't.
Are they
want
shy?
to talk to anybody.
Are they shy because they're like like the way their surroundings are, like their environment?
I don't know.
Or who knows?
They probably just don't have that regular interaction with
lots of different
types of people. People who are older than them. Where
I can actually imagine that. I think about it. It's like, oh, when I was in grade 6, everyone was the same age as me, and like you just imagine like dealing with people and the grade 8s.
Yeah,
the grade 8s. You're like kind of
they're so intimidating.
And like the ones younger than you is like you can bully them no problem because they're younger than you. But no, I get it. If you can interact and have that ability to socialize with people in different ages, then you don't have that type of intimidation.
Yeah.
Or that factor of who's older, who's smaller, who's bigger. Like it really doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
Like,
exactly.
It's like we're all human.
Yeah. Right? Well, I mean, you saw my kids. They barged in here, 20 minutes ago.
Yeah,
and
they're not shy. They're just like
they wanted to go, and they were asking to go play with Josh, which is our next door neighbor. He lives across the street, and he's 3. So, I mean, Tristan's 7, Brooklyn's 5, and the neighbor across the street is 3, and they want to go play with him. It's not like,
That's so cool.
we can't talk to him because he's
young.
3.
Yeah.
He's too young. We can't,
But I remember that when I was a kid, it was a little bit like that, or like the ages had a factor
Yeah.
in who you hang out
Oh,
with.
me too. I mean, I don't want to hang out with my little cousins. I don't
they're
do that. I hang out with people my age.
Yeah.
And then
you get cliquish.
older,
Yeah.
the older kids. Oh, you can't talk to them. They're older than you. They're the cool kids. That's who you want to be. No, it's not. My kids don't go through that. It's do they like you? Are you fun? Are you nice to them? They're nice to you, and you'll be friends. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
So you choose. You have a conscious choice when you're outside of school who you want to be friends with.
Mm-hmm.
You're not forced to be friends with somebody just because they're in your class or just because they're your age. They're friends with the neighbor because the neighbor's nice and
They have fun. Yeah.
that's it.
That's really all it is.
Not because they're the
And
same
it's
age.
like that should be the guiding principle when we grow up, man. And we for some reason it gets undone. Like the idea of if it feels good, you do it. Like if it's fun, that's what's good. That's what's right.
Yeah.
When it doesn't feel good, then it's not right.
Yeah.
Right. But I think when you're in different social settings, and I think it's inevitable in any type of social setting that as a kid you're gonna want approval, right?
Yeah.
Acceptance, approval, validation, reassurance, and sometimes we'll do things that aren't right, that aren't good
For us, that don't feel good for us.
because we want the approval
of somebody else. Yeah.
And then it just takes years to unlearn that.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's a big thing that we're trying to teach our kids is, we want them to do things for themselves, right? So they're in jiu-jitsu class, right? And Tristan had his first tournament a couple weeks back. And the big thing that we took from that is we want him to compete in these tournaments for himself. It's not go out there and try to win for daddy, right? You go out there, you do your best, and tell us how you feel after. So the way he explained it to us is he said, at first he said he wasn't happy, and we're just like, okay, well, what is it that you're not happy about? And he said he didn't win, and we said, okay, are you happy that you competed? And he said, yes, I'm happy I competed. So we're trying to break it down, and we're like, okay, you're happy but you're not satisfied. So you're happy you competed, but you're not satisfied that you didn't win. So that's a different. It's a different way for him to look at it. So that yes, he's happy. He's happy he did this. He made the decision he wanted to compete. He's happy that he wanted. He's happy he actually did compete, but he's not satisfied with
his
not winning.
Not winning.
And it's not that, I'm not happy because mommy and daddy aren't happy, or I'm not happy because I didn't win for mommy and daddy. It's, no, I want to do this for myself.
Yeah. It's not that he let you guys down or something like that. Yeah.
We're happy that he just competed, but he's not satisfied because he didn't win, which is great because I want him to have that competitive edge.
So he wants to compete again.
He wants to compete again.
So he just wants to get better.
Yeah, so he had another tournament that just passed a couple weeks ago. Well, he didn't go, but it was in Ottawa, and he didn't want to go, so we didn't force him.
Yeah.
But there's another tournament happening next month, and now he wants to go again.
Wow.
So it's
you just let him when he chooses, when he wants
what
to.
he chooses, yeah. We want him to do it for him. We could have been like, okay, we're going to Ottawa and you're going to compete. But then who's he doing that for? He's not doing it for him. He's doing it for us. So we let it, we're just like, okay, that's fine. If you're not ready, you don't want to go, no problem. Next tournament came up, he goes, yeah, I'm ready for this one. I'm going to compete in this one.
And how many people, go to university, become dentists, or doctors or something, and it's not really for themselves. I think it's great if you're, you want to become an MD, because that's what you want to do, or if it's just because that's how you've been molded to become, and it's not really what you want.
Yeah.
That's so interesting.
Oh man, I'm sure you talk to half the kids that are in school. Oh, I'm here because my parents paid.
Yeah, my parents paid for it, so I got to get good grades and blah blah.
Yeah. What are you gonna do?
I don't know what I'm gonna do. I just gotta get this diploma and get my parents off my ass.
Exactly.
Right? That's usually what it's about.
You have no clue. But that's something that we want to avoid with our kids. I want to integrate them into the world as soon as possible.
Yeah.
So get them, working on their businesses.
Well, they have their gumball machine.
They've got their gumball machine business. But then Tristan asked you, he wanted you to teach him real estate.
That's so funny.
We go look at houses.
Say, can you show me what you do?
Yeah.
I forgot how he said it.
I think he said it's just like, can you teach me real estate, or can you
yeah.
teach me to sell houses or something like
He's
that?
like, can I be part of the team?
Yeah.
I'm like, wow.
So that's cool. I mean, if that's what he wants to do, sure, we'll show him.
What are the laws on youth child labor? Like 7 years old is.
You can get him door knocking for
Yeah. What if he subcontracts? Like if he's just if he starts his own corporation? Can
Sure.
you own a corporation?
you. At that age, I don't see why not.
That'd be funny.
Who knows? We'll see. We'll figure it out.
Oh man.
But those
It's
are.
gonna
I
be
mean, those are the
really crazy to see.
those are the things that we're going
they
to teach them, right?
What they do and what age they do it, because of the way they're being raised.
Yeah.
It's gonna be nuts.
It's completely foreign to even myself and Michelle.
So you have
right?
no idea what to expect.
There's no idea what to expect, but it's
That's best.
we sort of have an idea of where we want it to go, and it's going in that direction where it's self-motivated learning, right? They're learning because they want to learn. They're learning subjects that they want to learn. Self-directed. Something that interests them. That's the way they're going to go. Seems to be working. They two healthy boys. They've got good heads on their shoulders, and they're learning. Whether we like it or not, they're learning something.
They're learning something, yeah.
They're sponges. They learn anything.
Well, everything is learning, right? I mean, like cleaning up after yourself and cleaning around the house and just just maintaining some order.
Yeah.
In their own way or whatever it is, right? But
well, yeah, exactly. I mean, they're just learning how
house rules.
They're still learning, exactly. Absolutely, and those are life lessons that we want them to take into adulthood.
One thing that I learned from Philip McCurtain is that how he says, your parents. A lot of people say, they did the best they could. They did the best they could with what they had and what they knew. And, that's fine. And we protect them, right? Mm-hmm. And not to say, like, all parents are bad or all parents are good or whatever it is. It's just, as a kid, there's things that you need. And you should never devalue the fact that, you needed these things. Mm-hmm. And I think most of us grew up, like, needing something that we didn't get, and we discount that fact and don't put too much value in it. But I think we should really look at that, because if you look at the way you're raising the kids, they can ask for what they need, and they're free to get it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you're there like full time. So it's like, I don't know, how do you save the world? I think you start with the kids.
With the kids, yeah.
I think you start with the kids, the way they're raised.
Yeah.
So that's why I think it's so freaking important.
Yeah, it's definitely different when you're around other parents, and when they're with their kids, and you sort of hear them make comments or say things, and you're just like, wow, that's a completely different philosophy than what I have. Mm-hmm. It's different.
Yeah,
and it's.
But it's it takes some balls, because you got to take the judgment from people.
Yeah.
And you're doing something like in the alternative realm, so you got to be okay with that. People won't see it the same way you do.
Yeah, it could
so
be.
It's like, I'm sure there'll be a stage where where you're defending yourself, and then there's a stage where you're just like, who cares?
Yeah.
And then
I definitely agree with you there. In the beginning when you're starting, it was like that. It's just like, okay, we need to defend our decision to do this. And then as it goes on and you see the results of it, then it's just like, fuck, I don't give a shit. Mm-hmm. I don't give a fuck what you think. Like, this is working. This is right.
Your choice.
Like, this is
your
the way
choice.
kids should be raised.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's like, whatever. And now I'm at that point now where I make it more like, I'm not trying to defend it. It's, I'm that right, and if you're not homeschooling, it's your fault. listen, not everybody has the ability to do this.
And it's, you know what?
It's okay.
But it's like, it's not even just the homeschooling, right? It could be, maybe it's not homeschooling. Maybe your kids are in school, but you're there, like, you're full-time parents.
Yeah.
Like, so you're there when you're going to school, you're there when they come back from school, and you're always, you know what I mean, for whatever they need.
Yeah.
So it could be that too, that you can, you squeeze what you can and let go of what you have to, whether it's that extra car or extra bedroom, and downsize it a little bit to have that ability to have at least one parent there.
I agree.
For the first 7 years.
Yeah.
Going to school or being homeschooled or whatever it is, just so that, I don't know, you get a gap, right? You miss out, I think.
Yeah.
I think,
like I say, it's such a small window, and if you miss that,
it's a small window of opportunity.
You reap what you sow with kids. Like, if you're not going to be there for the first 7, 10, 12 years, and then they end up being punks in their teens, what do you expect?
It's tough.
Right? Mm-hmm. And then you go up. I mean, a lot of it is, especially with this show, right, is looking inwards, taking responsibility.
Yeah.
Not enough people do that these days. So you're a parent out there, and your kid is not what you raised them to be.
Look at that relationship.
You gotta look in the mirror. It's not teacher's fault. It's not the world's fault. You gotta look inside.
It's not TV. It's not video games.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. You gotta look in the mirror.
Yeah.
You gotta look inside.
And then you don't need science to prove the fact that parents have a huge role in how a kid turns out.
Yeah.
Whatever it is, in whatever way, good, bad, whatever way you want to judge and label it. Yeah. It just is. Like, you're the primary example.
Yeah.
You're the source of affection. You're the source of knowledge. You're the source of courage, of confidence, of security, of safety, right? Mm. So if any way there's that integrity, the wholeness of that, the completeness of that is chipped, right? If there's a chink in the armor, then you cannot underestimate how powerful that is going to be, like, in the long run.
In the long run.
Because it's just, something happens, and maybe, like, you're a kid, you feel abandoned, and then boom, like, everything starts associating to that story, and how many times a year, and for how many years, during your lifetime, and trying to unlearn that habit, unlearn that story, or, like, let go of it. You can't underestimate how strong that is, how ingrained it is in your nervous system.
Yeah. As you get older, absolutely.
And I notice people who become more self-aware, I guess. Like, it could be within their own relationships with their partner, or, like, from, like, to their kids or to their own parents. But it's like, let's say you're, like, my bigger brother, I'm the younger brother, and, like, you start yelling at me, and the story is, like, we just start fighting, and I'm not going to play that game. Mm-hmm. I'm just going to let you fight. And, like, even though I'm just talking like this, you're going to keep yelling at me, because it's like you're already in that automatic reaction.
Right.
And sometimes when you're more self-aware, you're able to just be like, wow, I'm aware that this is what happens when me and my brother, start getting into an argument, and this is the way it always plays out. Mm-hmm. And today I'm going to make a new choice. Because now that I'm aware, I can make a choice.
Yeah.
It's not just like this instant reaction. You can't unknow it anymore, because you're aware of it.
You're aware of it.
You can't go back to being unaware of it. I'm gonna make a new choice, and then if you make the same choice, you know that you made the same choice. It's like, wow, I could have made that play a different way, but I just played it the same way I could have broken the cycle.
Yeah.
But I hit repeat on it, right? So I think that's where it's really cool to see.
Yeah.
What happens now? Like, when that changes.
Yeah.
New things.
Exactly.
Which you don't even know. Like,
exactly.
Where's that going to lead
to? New
to?
experience, right?
Mm-hmm.
So these old situations, or these repeat situations, and you react to them the same way, but if you react to it a different way, now that's a new experience. Mm-hmm. That's something brand new.
Yeah.
That in some situations is going to be better. Mm-hmm. Right? Especially if they're repeat bad situations.
Yeah. Because what is it? It's a neurological, it's like a connection. Like, the neurons are connected. Mm-hmm. So it's like, so when X happens, whether it's like my husband or my wife or my kids or my parents raise their voice, this is what I do, and this is how I react.
Yeah.
and that connection is so strong. But when you become aware, you can slowly start to disintegrate it by doing something new.
Yeah.
New choice.
Breaking that cycle.
Mm-hmm.
Making that conscious choice.
And
to
it'll
do
be there
something different.
forever.
Yeah.
You know? I think it'll be there forever. And it's just like, we gotta manage it. Just gotta manage your shit.
Yeah.
You know?
Absolutely.
Take care of your stuff, man. How dare you just let your guns off their holsters,
Yeah.
like waving them in the air and just shooting them any which place. Take control over your stuff.
You gotta be stoic in your approach.
Yeah,
right? Be
totally.
clear-headed when you make decisions.
Mm-hmm.
When you speak, come from a clear mind. Right? Don't let your
Some
emotions
some people just let their mouths like just and it's like, what the hell did I just do? Like, why did I say that?
It happens. It happens.
Some people don't tame their freaking their old ape brain, their chimp brain, like
Yeah.
the
They're just
reptilian.
It's all reaction.
Mm-hmm.
It's all everything is just a reaction.
Yeah.
There's no thought.
It's all reaction. It's all like fear of completely, man.
You know. So how we doing on time today?
Yeah, we're good, man. So I'm glad that we're back, and
Oh, nice. This is a good introductory or reintroductory session
warm up the season again. So So I'm excited that we're back.
I'm excited we're back too.
I'm excited
It's
about
nice
the people that we're
that
gonna get back on the show.
Yeah, you know what, the Trinidad and Tobago trip was a nice end to the summer. It was a nice way to end the summer. Because now, I mean, we got back and you could feel
fall.
like it's in the fall.
Yeah,
It's
we
fall.
came back mid-October.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like when I came back, my summer just ended. I'm just like, whoa. I'm like, I've been having a summer the whole time.
Yeah.
You know, way past September 21st or whatever the hell that is.
Yeah, we had it into mid-October.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And it's nice to be able to... it's going to be interesting. Like, I think this is going to be really... It's different because of everything that we've experienced this year. Different feeling than... Much different than when we were, like, this year. Getting into the end of 2011, this is a much different feel getting into the end of 2012.
Oh, I feel calmer. I feel centered.
Yeah, I agree.
Compared to last year.
And so much shit has changed.
And so much has been left behind, and so much has just been let go of for me.
Yeah, I feel the same way.
And I feel lighter. I just feel more calm.
I agree. So, I mean, even, you know, with Michelle and I, our decision to just, I'm going to be the one who's going to homeschool, and she's going to be the one to get her business off the ground, or not off the ground, but she's going to continue to grow her business. And just, with that decision and getting into this, you know, I mean, we're already into the school year. We never really stop our school year. It's just kind of continuous. We take a little break in the summer, or it's just kind of like a ramp down, but now ramp up into this school year.
Mm-hmm.
I feel, I just feel calm. I know myself more. I'm more confident in myself as a father and as a teacher, and, you know, Michelle and my role as, you know, somebody who's not the provider, as, you know, my role as having Michelle as the provider. I feel a lot more calm and more just clear in that.
Mm-hmm. You're sitting good with it.
Yeah. Because it's been working. I mean, it's been working. Everything that we've been doing, everything that we've let go of, has just been working. You know?
And it's just working out, right?
And it's working out. It just works out.
That's what happens when you just
been
believe and
trusting.
trust. Yeah.
Trusting in the universe.
Believe in the work.
Yeah.
The work
we set that. This is our intention. She's going to go to work. I'm going to school the kids. And we just put it out there. And the universe is just like, okay, cool. I'll take care of it. Just falls in place. This is what you guys want to do. We don't have to know how it's going to be done. We just have to know what we want to do, and we just let the universe take care of it.
Yeah.
This is how it's going to happen. This is what we want. The universe goes, okay, this is how it's going to happen. Thank you very much. It's awesome.
You can never predict how.
Yeah.
But you gotta know what.
Know what? You gotta just know what you want.
And why.
And why, of course.
So, cool, man. All right, welcome back to the show.
Yes.
Welcome back to all our viewers. And we keep an eye out on our Facebook pages for the next episode. We'll just do them as it feels right.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing that's changed as well. Is,
Yeah.
You know, we're not going to go with a
You
set.
know what? With the set time, it
time.
felt like work. It felt like
Yeah.
obligatory. I don't know how to say it. It felt like an obligation.
Yeah.
There you go.
I don't think that's obligatory, though.
I don't know.
We'll have to look that one up.
This is a high school diploma here, trying to sound smart. So yeah, we'll catch you guys in the next episode. We will start
We got to figure out how to do
talk about.
episodes remotely. That's what we should try to figure
Yeah,
out.
yeah. But we use a lot of bandwidth doing it. That's the thing.
Yeah, that's true.
That's why it's tough.
We'll
All right,
figure it out.
man.
Or just pre-record it.
Have a good one. Everyone enjoy your weekend.
Peace.
And
Peace.
make sure to like us on Facebook, Holistic Entrepreneur. You can find myself, Oliver Manlees, on Facebook.
Christopher G. Lim, Facebook,
And-
Twitter, all those other things.
That you don't really use. Or...
I kind of do. I don't know. You can check out my blog, Play at Home Dad, off
Mhm.
Facebook.
That's right.
Play at Home Dad. And yeah, if you guys are interested in coming skiing, snowboarding, we got that coming up in a
Mhm.
couple months. Check out FXB
Good.
events.
Wicked. All right, guys.
All right.
Have a great one. Take care.